Welcome to Metal Wani and Metal Nation Radio. With us today, we have the man, the myth, the legend, John Gallagher of Raven. How are you doing, sir?
I am doing wonderful. Thank you so much.
Amazing. Now, just few weeks left for the release of new album, ExtermiNation. You guys must be excited and nervous for this album, isn't it?
Yeah, our baby will be born in 2 weeks, exactly.
Absolutely true. Now, you guys have released, you played Destroy Your Monster live as well. So what sort of feedback did you get from your loyal fans?
Well, it was really good. We were playing Destroy All Monsters and we've been playing It's Not What You Got. And reaction on both is great because, people want to hear new music and just seeing their reaction.
Right.
Seeing them, getting into it, pounding their fists, shouting along with the choruses. And immediately, we just did dates in Europe and you're watching the crowd and they're singing along all the lyrics.
Right.
It's like, wow. And that's just from like the lyric video or just bootleg video of, shows we've done it with. So it makes you feel, yep, we're doing the right thing. It's good.
Absolutely true. Now, it's been 5 years since you guys put out an album, and now with this ExtermiNation, it kind of feels me that the age hasn't slowed you guys down at all. I mean, you're just on fire, and it's that fuel in you guys to come up with something great, and ExtermiNation absolutely nails it.
No, we're on a roll, we are playing better. As far as musicianship, we're playing better as far as live. We're putting more into it and getting more out of it. We're having a lot of fun. Ever since getting over the whole thing with Mark's accident, we really felt there was a lot of catch up to do.
Mm-hmm.
And we are definitely getting there. We took a long time writing this record. A lot of hard work, editing, re-editing.
Mm-hmm.
Saying, do we need this part? Is this part good enough? Can we take this part out and put this part in instead, or just eliminate the whole thing altogether, or simplify this, or what would be, and even down to the wire, Joe was changing, trying different drum beats on things, and it really just brought it alive,
Amazing. Now, I've been hearing a lot of feedback from the fans, and I being a lifelong fan of Raven, I kind of feel that this is not only an incredibly produced sonic assault, but it's gotta be your most ferocious album since Architect of Fear.
Yeah, that was kind of the rough brief on this was All for One crossed with Architect of Fear. Mm-hmm. Really, we wanted the songs, but we wanted that ferocious guitar sound, making it sound really heavy, and we kind of beat that because I think the drums sound way better on this.
Right.
And we're in the way we did with All for One, we're kind of playing for the sound, playing for the big sound. Sometimes you want to do something a little bit more complicated and fiddly. You kind of back off a little bit and just let the sound take over here and there.
True.
So that you get those big hits. To me, the best example of that is the bridge in the song Malice in Geordieland,
right?
Where it goes da da da.
Yeah.
The big chords with the big hits, and it's like, oh my god, it sounds huge. That's what we were going for on that,
I agree because tracks like Battle March or One More Day or even The Fire Burns Within, I can see that sort of some sort of inspiration coming from let's say Heart Attack or even Part of the Machine, and that's right, from Architect of Fear. So with the superior production this time around, and of course combined with your timeless vocals, it just sounds merciless.
No mercy given, no quarter, mate.
Would you agree with that?
Yeah, that's what we went for. The overall the song is king, but second to the song, the riff is king. The riffs had to come through, and I get a little cynical. I listen to a lot of heavy metal, and when I hear that's not a riff. That's freaking Morse code.
True.
Playing one note with broken, all this, what's that stupid band called? Meshuggah?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I mean, these guys are all math majors or something. You know, yeah, how many times can you subdivide 4 and play one note? And in the end, it just goes in one ear and out the other. Where's a riff? Give me a riff, you know?
Yes.
And that's what we do.
You know,
we're riff merchants. We give you riffs.
yeah, you give us riffs. That's absolutely right. So now, like you mentioned, Meshuggah. Now they are like one of the creators of this odd time signature, stuff which has been creating, such rage in heavy metal scene. So how do you feel about the band? I mean, the kind of bands that have followed the path which Meshuggah started.
Well, I try and listen to some of it, but to be honest, it's a lot of it's devoid of melody.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's another band with a guy who sounds like he's gargling razor blades all the way through it, and it's like enough already.
Mm-hmm.
You know, to me, this stuff was it was old in like 1987.
Uh-huh.
You know, what did you have back there? You had the black metal stuff coming out. You had the Norwegian stuff starting. You had Slayer. You had Sepultura. Where are you going to go from there? And it's basically been going round in ever decreasing circles ever since, to the point where the next album from one of these bands is going to just be and it's like, great. What are you going to do next? You know, please. Music should be a combination of melody and rhythm.
Right.
And if you don't have melody, go and listen to rap music. Hey, it's got a beat. You can dance to it.
Absolutely true. Now, why it sounds like more like a vintage when I listen to ExtermiNation without sounding cheesy. So I kind of feel that you have this mantra of keep it simple in terms of having this production on this album. Is that
well? The production. I mean, it's. I hear these comments from people, and they'll say, "Oh, it sounds classic and it doesn't sound modern." I mean, what is modern? To me, most of the modern, unfortunately, is shit. Mm-hmm. I don't want to hear like drums that sound electronic and they really clicky bass drums, and the bass drums are super loud in the mix.
Right.
The guy's playing, 240 beats a minute on the kick drums constantly. You're just hearing constantly, all the time, or he's playing triplets and all this, just like, hey, how clever am I with my little feet? And it's all Pro Tool to death. No, most of these guys can't even play that way unless they're using, triggers and samplers and whatever. So if that's the modern approach, call me an old fart, when I want to hear drums, I want to hear John Bonham. I want to hear Ian Pace. I want to hear Joe Hasselvander. I don't want to be hearing some kid tapping around on an electronic kit,
Yeah.
So there's that. And guitars should sound big, and they should have middle in them, and they should have attack. And that's what I get from my brother. He attacks the guitar. Right. He's an animal. You see his guitar, he's got pretty heavy strings, they're up high, he beats the crap out of it to get that sound. That's what you got to hear. And, damn me for life, I sing, I have melody in my voice.
Right, true.
So that's what it's all about. We put the song on, and yeah, there's definitely a sensibility from the classic years, from from our influences. I mean, we grew up with Slade, Sweet, Status Quo, right. Nazareth, Black Sabbath, Led Zeppelin, and threw all that stuff into a blender.
Absolutely.
And you poke through on this album, you listen to like the chorus on Tomorrow, and you go, I can hear a bit of Black Sabbath in there. Mm-hmm. And then you hear something like Fire Burns Within. You say, I can hear a bit of Montrose in there.
Right.
So that's where we're coming from.
Absolutely true. And there's one thing you guys never forget, and that is to keep that, all real music begins with a hook. And that's
it. Yeah. That really should cross all borders. I don't care what you're listening to. You've got to have hooks. You've got to have catchy parts in what you're doing. Whether it's, heavy metal, country, fusion, whatever,
Right. So you guys keep it fun. It's like, fun with a healthy dose of rock and roll.
Well, that's it. I mean, a lot of heavy metal is very dark, and that's cool. That's okay. But a lot of our stuff, even though this is one of the darker albums we've done, there's still it's got an up feel about it, you know?
Right. Absolutely.
So that's very much, you know, we'll come in, you'll smash your house up, but we'll have a grin on our face at the same time.
That's awesome. Now, this album is built for a live setting. I mean, and one where Raven never disappoints. One, you guys have been crushing city after city after so many years. So, what are the plans of taking this album live?
Well, we've just been out and did a couple of things. We did a short tour of South America. Where we played Colombia for the first time, which was pretty incredible. All young people, you know, crazy, all young people, like very few people over 25, crazy. And it was like deja vu all over again for us, like playing the Netherlands in the early 80s. All these young kids with their denim jackets with all the patches on, just totally passionate about the music, you know. So that was cool, and we got to play Rio de Janeiro for the first time, which was also a similar mix. You know, and when you notice down there, it's real mixed. It's not all, you know, it's not the guys' club. There's a lot of women going to shows. They're totally into the music. It's awesome.
Right.
So we did that. We had a week off, and then we went over to Europe. We played Helsinki for the first time, which was, those people are nuts. We finished the show, basically smashed everything up, walked off, getting toweled off, getting changed, and the crowd's still chanting for more.
Awesome.
So we had to go back out and put the drums back up and, you know, find a guitar that worked or whatever and do a couple more songs for them. So
awesome.
That was a real honest-to-goodness encore. They wouldn't let us out the hall. And we played a Belgian festival, a couple of German dates, a couple of Dutch dates, and finished with a festival in Holland with our old mates Satan and Tyson Dog and Tokyo Blade, a whole bunch of English guys. But that was a great show. That was a lot of fun.
That's awesome. I still feel that, you know, Live at the Inferno has to be one of the best live releases, and that's where you captured the essence of Raven live.
Yeah, I mean that's what we do. There's that, and I mean I really love the Japanese live album we did, even though I was suffering from laryngitis, which is not the best way to do a record. Just to, you know, to showcase the band like later on with and to do some more of those classic songs that actually aren't on Live at the Inferno. And as anyone can do, they can check out YouTube. There's every time we play, there's usually a video of something or other putting up on that.
Right.
And then again, there's the DVD, Rock Until You Drop. I don't know if you got to see that. That's a great, what's its name, like document of what's going on. Hold on 1 second. I just got to say something.
Sure.
Hey man, I'm doing interviews, John. I'll check back with you later. I know, man. I know I'm stupid. Cheers. Sorry, I'm with you.
No worries. No worries.
Yes, I mean that's a document over the years of you know, the insanity. So that shows you what we do.
Absolutely true. Now, what are the plans? I know, has there ever been any offer for Raven to come to India?
No, and that is something we'd love to redress, because I know there's a whole generation of fans out there that are hungry to see a band like ourselves,
right,
and show you guys how it's done.
Absolutely true. That's going to be an honor. I really hope, because, you know, keeping so many decades in mind, India is, you know, developed as you know, a country where metal music is still, you know, it flows through our blood, but bands hardly come here. I mean, it's been just last weekend we got to see Cannibal Corpse and Suicide Silence at one festival here, and then for the next 3 months, none of the bands are coming here. Then we have Napalm Death coming in June, and that's it. That's the end of 2015 for us. Now,
this is one of the, you know, we have a list of places we haven't been, would love to go to, and India is high on that list. So if you got anyone out there with no brains and deep pockets, by all means get in touch with me. festival or a number of dates, we'd love to try and put something together. And there's a number of places. There's India, and then you can go into Indonesia, and of course there's Australia, New Zealand, Malaysia.
Right.
There's burgeoning scenes in the heavy metal community all over these countries, and we want to get out and meet the people and go play some music for them.
Yeah, I totally understand that. Now, what difference, John, do you feel about? I mean, we were talking about Meshuggah earlier, so there are two types of fans which you might have faced in your life. One is that old school guy who follows, who's open to all kind of old school music and loves it. Then you have the guys who are more into the new modern prog, periphery, Meshuggah kind of a music. So you have seen it all from so many decades. What's your opinion on such fans, and how do you even, I'm sure you come across fans like these in your shows as well.
Well, it's horses for courses. It's all opinion. Everyone's got an opinion. Everyone likes what they like, and that's fine. I'm not going to denigrate bands for going out there and doing their own thing.
Right.
I might not like it. That doesn't necessarily make it bad.
True.
But I hear that the other bands like Periphery and Animals as Leaders, etc., what they call it, the Djent movement.
Right.
I mean, it's basically fusion played with a heavier guitar tone.
Mm-hmm.
Musician-wise, off the charts. These guys, can play rings around just about anybody.
Right.
And by the same token, most of them wouldn't know a good song if it hit them on the head. So I listen to these bands and go, yeah, this is great, but did you ever listen to the Mahavishnu Orchestra? Did you ever listen to Return to Forever?
Right.
Did you ever listen to Colosseum 2?
Mm-hmm.
Because those guys would play rings around you.
Absolutely true. I totally agree with that. Now, John, before I conclude the interview, how about you, in your own style, define Extermination in just one sentence?
Extermination is the album that will guarantee your neighbors will leave the country.
Wow, that's intense. That's intense.
There you go.
Fantastic, John. Had an honor of having a chat with you. So I wish you all the best, and all I can do is to wait for you guys to come to play in India and have fun.
That's it, man. Some of the movers and shakers there, so
Right.
Keep in touch and put the word out. We want to come over. Absolutely.